Paul? Paul? Ah!
Hey!
Paul!
How you doing? What's
I'm
this?
great.
You're early. What's going on?
Well, I just didn't know what to do with myself today. You know what? There's always time for a first. That happened early here in the year.
Yeah.
Probably never going to see it again.
Well, I thought I might have thrown you off with this whole, let's go into the country and do something.
Well, this table was here waiting for us.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic.
That's a big one.
It's great. So, hey, great to see you.
Great seeing you as
Doing
well.
it again.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody back to Booze and Banter with Paul, the Curious Sommelier, Michael, Lord Funshire of Yorkshire, still unofficial.
One day.
I might actually Google the paperwork to see if I can make it official.
Yeah, I wonder.
I just no idea how I'll fill out forms, but for the sake of the pod, I just feel like it'd be worth it.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Anyway.
Anywho. Okay, so
Yeah,
we are in a park, a field, and we're out. And we're drinking. And depending on where you live, most places are not okay with you drinking alcoholic wine.
I would say that civilized places are okay with you drinking alcoholic wine in public.
Okay.
But we're not drinking today alcoholic wine in public.
Oh my, okay. So if we see the police, we won't panic.
We're all good.
Maybe we'll get a cameo.
Oh,
Maybe.
wouldn't that be great? Come on. I wonder if we should
We'll
call
see.
the police on our side.
No. Hard stuff. Not that I have any reason to be concerned. I just think we're setting ourselves up.
Yeah, good.
I've had that. I'll tell you later, but the long story short, somebody made a fake 911 call at a place I worked, and the police took them away. They almost lost their job. It wasn't one of my team members, but it was someone who was staying at a hotel I used to work at in the day before, and they almost got they were arrested and overnight in jail.
Yeah.
And,
so
it's a serious thing. Do not fake call 911. Maybe if it was the non-emergency line, we could see if they wanted to make a guest appearance. Anybody who's showy, but anyway, moving on.
We are drinking. Although this is booze and banter.
Yes.
Today it's non-booze and banter.
Well, I feel like the booze is a loose term. We're not about necessarily being drunk or getting lit up. It's really about understanding food, pairings, social interactions. Like we did that great bit in Christmas with the tip, then the beverages. And sure, those were alcoholic, but we had non-alcoholic options.
Yeah,
so here we're out enjoying a beautiful day. And what do we have? What do you have for us here today?
Well,
Paul?
you know what? And if I may add to that, booze and banter, it's not to put a finer point on it. It's about the experience.
Absolutely.
So, what you're drinking is if it's contributing to the experience. So the conversation, the friendship, these are all things that happen. And if you have really good zero proof stuff, it can enhance the experience. And that's what I'm discovering. And I think it's very cool. So anyway, we've got we've got. To me, when I look at zero proof, non-alc just sounds, like I'm cheating something or something.
Well,
You know what I
zero
mean?
proof sounds like you need to be fact checked.
Zero proof. There you go. Maybe zero proof. I've got zero proof that this is zero proof, but it's zero proof. So I like the idea of zero proofing, and we've talked about this before. And one of the things I really find that I'm doing more, especially when we get together and you're like, hey, well, try this, is zebra striping. So I'll have a bottle of sparkling, I'll have a bottle of wine, and then a bottle of de-alcohol or zero proof. Or a drink that's, so you alternate between alcohol and alcohol-free stuff. And, at the end of the night, you feel, you haven't had as much to drink. Maybe you've enjoyed the zero proof so much that you're like, I can still drive, right? No problem.
Absolutely.
Which is a great way to go. So anyway, so to me, there's two categories of zero proof product. There is de-alcoholized product, and then there's what somebody pointed out to me, a great producer, who says liquid gastronomy. So the idea is a built-up product that has no alcohol in it. So they're building it. So they're not doing a fermentation and then removing the alcohol and then making it taste good afterwards. They're building it up, and there's no alcohol fermentation that happens. So there's two categories of product. So right now the world seems to be really focused on de-alcoholized product and coming up with great stuff that tastes good, that resembles the stuff that it came from. So make a white wine, remove the alcohol, and make it taste good. And then there's the other stuff, which is the built-up stuff. So we can talk about that as we go. But first off, we should probably because it's such a beautiful, warm day, and here we are in
Mid-February.
mid-February.
And it is beautiful.
It is a beautiful day. So you know what?
I've dressed
And-
for the windy conditions, but if they weren't windy, I would be roasting. I'd be too
Oh
hot.
my goodness, right?
Not for this breeze we're experiencing.
This corkscrew is not particularly there we go.
Okay. You don't spill on yourself, it's fine.
Yeah, good. So, this actually is really, I found it just delicious. This is Prima Pave Blanc de Blanc. And
Sorry. Prima Patty Blanc de White? What? Sorry, can you say it a little slow? What was that?
my apologies. So yes, Prima Pave Blanc de Blanc.
Oh, pave, okay.
Pave.
I don't see any potatoes.
No.
So where's the Prima? Oh my gosh.
All right.
I haven't told a good dad joke in a while.
Hey,
there.
that's
sorry.
there
Sorry.
it is. You know, you gotta have one. So anyway,
Okay.
this is yeah. So cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Thought it would be a good way to start this kind of a tasting. So, Prima Pave is from Veneto, and they create the wine and they slowly remove the alcohol through a process,
Okay.
and then they make it, and then it's finished off afterwards. I think it's delicious.
I see by the bottle this is 0. This is nothing.
0 alcohol.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It does taste a bit like a flat Pinot Blanc or like a bit of a flat Pinot Gris to me in a way.
Okay. Yeah.
But like knowing it's 0 actually would be nice to have with like a dinner, like whatever else. And we did bring some herbs this time because we talked about it to do a little taste with our tasting today, just to kind of see if this pairs with some of the flavors we're trying to have. So
exactly,
I'm gonna
because we
spit my
love.
finger,
I
if
mean,
that's okay.
yeah, absolutely do.
Let's start with this. We got Greek spice and herb de Provence.
Right. So these are 2 spices that I love to cook with personally. I use a lot of it. The Greek spicing is a combination of dried vegetables, garlic, oregano, a whole bunch of salt, pepper, of course, and it's a really good overall seasoning.
I couldn't agree more. And actually, from the taste, this would go great with like some of those store-bought like Italian chickens.
Yeah.
If you're just doing a quick family meal. But like I actually got
really good.
more lemon.
The lemon
that.
really comes out.
In both of them though.
Yeah.
Like it did actually. It was nice to try.
Yeah,
It was a
no,
good
it's
pairing,
awesome.
so.
That's a really, yeah, I agreed. It really took some of that. You were talking about the Pinot Blanc kind of component. There's a little bit of that earthy component in this, which is not earthy per se, but a little bit of that subtle. But it really focuses the citrus character of the wine and brings out that. And there's a little bit of that garlic, a little bit of that spice that sits underneath there. It's really quite a lovely pairing, actually.
It's lovely. I'll let you have that sip. I just tried the herb de Provence, and actually, I'll say no harm, no foul. I didn't really get an enhancement from either of them personally. Maybe it was just the bit I had, but I also nothing lost. Like there was nothing lost, nothing gained. So like if you put together a dish that had that, these would go well and just kind of be fine together.
Yeah.
If you wanted that to taste with your food, and then this non-sparkling this product would be the Prima Pave would be good. Like this is nice.
Yeah. Oh, and I love doing this. Check and check. Yeah. And so herb de Provence, another one of my very favorite. I love cooking with herb de Provence. I use it all the time. Done one of my tastings, tours. I like herb de Provence. Marjoram, sage, rosemary, basil, lavender. Like it's this beautiful concoction. So many dishes I love having it with. For me, if I was to say, okay, which one would I go with? For me, it's the Greek herbs.
100%.
I really liked how that brought out. It focused the citrus component to that. And I thought it was great. The Prima Pave has acidity. It has texture, and so anything like you got chicken, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I think to what we have talked about and what you're talking about here about the experience, who's a Banter. This is a nice way. We've come out of dry January, but if you're just wanting that special experience with the stem and everything, the Greek herbs in this beverage, Prima Pave,
Great.
lovely.
Perfect. Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah.
Great,
And
great
the
start.
nice thing with the Prima Pave is sparkling wine, 0 alcohol or the 0 proof. zero alc sparkling wine is you can make cocktails with it. You can do all sorts of stuff
Oh
with
yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
And you can make your Shirley Temple and up your quality if you want to give it to the kids or
Oh
whatever.
sure.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, delicious stuff. So anyway, that's just a good way to get started. So then, yeah, let's try this. So this is Zino Rosé from Spain. It's a Bobal Rosé, and I think it's a very good example of a zero proof rosé, of a zero proof wine. So again, they make the wine, remove the alcohol, and then bottle it with the idea that it's close to what it should have been when it started.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. I love rosés. I mean, I'm always a rosé, especially on beautiful days like this. And, I mean, it's not exactly a warm day, but it's not barbecue weather. But
Well, it would be for northern
Yeah.
for Alberta here.
for Albertans, this is
I would barbecue it. There's no
I'm
problem.
absolutely
I'm
barbecue.
probably running the smoker this weekend in this.
Oh.
So, that's lovely. That has balance and structure. I think the one thing that I, as a wine lover, struggle a little bit with these de-alcoholized or non-alcohol, all the zero proofing, is that you miss some of that the texture or body you get from the alcohol.
Right.
However, I feel like the tannin and like the texture they've left in there gives me a nice mouthfeel. And
Yeah.
maybe that sounds funny, but like when you're enjoying a glass and depending on your love of wine, you don't necessarily think about all these things, but a lot of the components of a good wine, that structure's in here.
Yeah.
And just it's very enjoyable.
Yeah. It seems to me, anyway, from a tasting perspective, and I'm really starting to apply myself to learning more about it, tasting more of the non-alc products, is if you try to make something more expansive, you try to make it a de-alcoholized wine, you try to make it more intense and more everything, it really struggles. But if you as you say, this is not an incredibly complex wine, but it's a really well made all around wine that's just like this just fits a bill. So yeah, I mean it's a good all around wine that is quite tasty.
Really, Greek seasoning, a win. Really get that. I got a pop of strawberry. I got it when I first sipped it.
Yeah.
But that like red fruit, frosted strawberry, just elevated.
Yeah.
Which like now makes me think like if I had strawberries, I'm thinking butter lettuce salad, goat cheese. You're gonna have a lot of the components in there that would go with this, and that buttery nature and this kind of slightly acidic, not overly acidic. Like you're not gonna like that Riesling bite, like but like this is gonna go well with like a lot of summer dishes, or even if you have like winter here. Again, just feeling those white meats, fish. That's the one thing I'd add to this, fish.
Oh yeah. Oh,
really,
what?
This is a really versatile product as far as I like where I would go with cooking with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna go back into the pick my new finger.
Yeah, it's what?
Herb de Provence.
I love it.
Herb de Provence.
Man, I love doing this. I love this.
Ooh. I was going first. Would you like with that?
Oh no, I love doing this. First of all, this is the Julia Child thing. I love to cook with wine, and sometimes I even put it in the food.
Yes.
Right. It's like, But I think what she was intending there is to try the what you want to drink with what you're cooking.
Yes.
See how it goes, and okay, I want more of that or less of that, or maybe I need to change this or whatever. Tweak it so that, and that's what we're doing here. And I love it. I encourage you to do it all the time. It's fun.
I'm gonna make a recommendation. I don't know if I talked to you about this. The Spice Bible, I believe that's what it's called. I'll fact check this and put it in the notes. But the Spice Bible is a great book, and it just like pairs everything. So like with rosemary, and I'll pick lamb. It has garlic, rosemary, and like a list of other ingredients. But they're in big bold if it pairs exceptionally well.
Yeah.
And then for cilantro, which can be a bit polarizing for some people, it actually has like you'll see tomatoes, and it kind of has like a I don't know if it's italicized, but there's an indication not to pair them together.
Right.
So like it'll also tell you things that are like not
Horrific.
to do, and I found that really helpful. And as I cooked more, got an understanding of sort of basic recipes. Now I can just kind of look at pairings, and I know like how much rosemary to add because it's quite strong when it's dried, versus basil doesn't have that same potency. So you can kind of up or down more or less depending on what you like. So what do you think with the herb de Provence with this?
I liked it. I really liked it. Actually.
Anything stand out to you?
Well, let me do it again.
Okay. This is your way of making me go first.
Yeah. No.
I think with the Greek seasoning, what these two products have both done, that salt really pops. It like there's like this refreshing kind of cleanliness on the palate, but this definitely a more robust, better flavor as we talked about. I feel like the garlic and the salt really kicked up in the Greek seasoning, but I'm just holding out for you to talk about the herb de Provence. So,
well, I think it's more subtle. Like for the wine seemed to like I'm not picking up anything that really popped out of the herb de Provence.
Oh,
personally.
interesting. Okay. I got the floral note and like the marjoram kind of kicked up.
Oh yeah.
Those were the two things that stood out.
it.
So I don't know if it's the complexity of this product versus like the pomme de pave, prima pave. I gave you a crap about it earlier, and now I'm ruining it. But yeah, I think the herb de Provence went much better with this, and I think that it maybe speaks to the rounded quality of this product. Like I think it's just a little bit higher tier.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that one. I think that was excellent. If you gave me either of these, and that's all I was drinking for the night,
happy to have.
I would. It'd be a great evening.
Yeah, of course.
Lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I did, you know, I found this had more text, like this wine does have more texture, it has a bit more of the residual sugar, and so it's a stronger base for those flavors to work off of.
Yes, well said. Well said.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so, well, we're enjoying this. You want to start talking about the third?
Yeah, so here's the third one. So this is an example of a great producer, Rabel out of Austria, and they make a verjus. And so rather than making the wine and then de-alcoholizing it, they take the wine around veraison, before the grape starts flipping to make sugar. Okay? So it's just as it's starting to flip its sugar, so the grapes are green and hard, and they have lots of acidity, not a lot of sugar.
Right.
So you harvest those grapes, so it's a green harvest. It helps the winery because you take these grapes off so that the vines can ripen what's left even more. But what do you do with those other grapes? Well, you press those grapes, you get the juice, and it has a lot of acidity. And so in this case, what they've done is they've taken that, they've added some mineral water to it, some flavoring, so some herbs and some stuff, and a little bit of sugar, and to bring it to balance, and you have a wine that has not fermented at all. So no fermentations happen, so there's no alcohol to remove. So instead of having to process the wine to get the alcohol out, it just naturally has it.
Nice.
So it's a different approach, and this is a great example of how winemakers, gifted winemakers, are experimenting to find, maybe looking back and saying, well, you know, verjus used to be a big thing in cooking before lemons and oranges came to Europe from China.
Right.
I think it was the 1300s. 1400s, they would just harvest grapes unripe and use that to acidify dishes. So a return to this.
Okay, so while you're pointing that out, is that why we see like verjus in some of the in like the salad dressing aisles?
Yes.
Like and is that more concentrated than what we're consuming today? Like, have they reduced it down further to be more of that like add to food type?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I could theoretically, I'll taste it, but I could theoretically use this, could I not?
Yeah, you could use this. I mean, it's not, again, this is, the verjus that you get is very concentrated. And so, like, you use a couple of drops and it you know, adds a ton of acidity and like, you can't, it's not something you can drink.
Right. It's like
verjus for
white wine vinegar kind of thing.
It's even more concentrated. It's more like balsamic vinegar. It's if you had an equivalent. So super rich and intense. And so it's not something that you don't buy a big 750 and, you know, most verjus are really, it's a smaller bottle, a couple drops in your dressing, and it adds a ton of flavor, or you add it in a dish or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen it, cheers. I've seen it in Australian recipes, just like with my wife there, and Maggie Beers seems to have been one of the big producers in their grocery stores that has brought verjus back into the fold. So very interesting.
And I think it's starting to, winemakers that I know are starting to say, hey, I can make verjus out of these noble grape varieties. I'm making these great wines, so why don't I make a little bit of verjus? And they're using it in house, and there's demand for it now. So this is I mean, I think it's a delicious product. This is the last bit of the previous vintage. Okay. So the newer vintage is a little fresher, not quite as rich, but anyway, I think this is delicious.
It is the fullest of everything we've drank so far.
That's right.
I would say the most similar to a wine style product with sort of the acidity, like the refreshing on the palate, the body, carbonation. I guess the carbonation is not reminiscent of what I would call a sparkling, but
no,
it has like that effervescence. That's this kind of. It's almost like a semi sparkling.
It's almost like a pet natter, like a very low, but it's. I mean I think it's delicious.
I feel like today I just came for the herbs.
I know.
I'm always the first one.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's dynamite. You know what? To me, the peppers.
Yes.
That spice, that peppery part, it really pops there.
It does.
So now, and it complements because this does have this is fairly sweet, right? But it really, what you get is the sweetness tones down the heat of the spice, but elevates the flavor of that spice.
Well said. So from here where we went lemon, strawberry, and now red pepper.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
one spice. We obviously didn't change the blend. You're watching us. It was just in that thing, but just totally different experiences each time. And I think that's what you and I get excited about when we talk about food and wine, is that you have all this flexibility, and sometimes people think you're a wizard in the kitchen, which I'm sure you are, but like it's just these simple combination changes, and all of a sudden, like you've got an entirely different style or feeling of a dish. It's
amazing, it's the one thing, and I love, and that's how we. I mean, that's actually how we got this thing started. Was, hey, we got to talk about this stuff because this is really cool. Yeah. But I love how experiences can change based on the wine that you're pairing, or the seasoning you have, or whatever. And I love playing around with that. Ooh. That's so much fun. And so this is my favorite thing to do.
The verjus, this verjus has apple. I get a lot of apple.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And thanks to that sage pops in that the herb de Provence. I forget what we're having here. But yeah, the herb de Provence, the sage.
Oh yeah,
hits.
Yeah.
And if I know sage can also be a little bit strong for people. It's mild. It's a nice mild, like, again, like just thinking of like white meat dishes, pork and chicken. Now this makes you want to have like a nice roasted pork.
I was just
put that on top.
Oh, that would be great.
Just to get you going, like you sear the pork in the pan, brush it with a little bit of Dijon mustard, roll the herb de Provence over top, tuck it in the oven, serve your side, pull this out.
Right, I'll be over,
hair past a freckle.
Yeah, hair past a freckle, I'm on.
Oh my gosh, cut me off today. Well, welcome anytime. I did do pork earlier in the week last week, and the kids loved it. That's how I did it. And I just had, it was just almonds and parsley, and I think a little garlic. That was it, all chopped up and minced together and cooked. Kids ate it all up. 6 and a 9-year-old, loved it. Nothing complicated.
Right, and
we didn't give them anything but milk to drink.
Yeah, milk to drink. But you could do this. It's zero alcohol, because this is the nice thing with this, again. Like actually, I don't want to try some. No.
What do you want to try?
I was gonna try a little bit of the you can make a little cocktail of this and see how that goes.
Well, I don't think it's gonna kill us, so let's give it a shot. So,
but no,
cheers to our fourth drink.
But I mean, the nice thing with these kinds of products is that one of the challenges I think that we have generally as adults is that we have this perception that children shouldn't be drinking, can't be drinking, but this gives them an exposure to the flavors without the alcohol, and alcohol is we know it's not a great thing for a kid to have, right? But the flavors, and how the flavors interact and exposing to this level of food. And like, okay, how does that make you taste? And how, having that conversation brings them along. It's a big part of life. And so we don't talk about it until you get legal. And then all of a sudden, all right, let's drink wine with our food. And they're like, well, are you kidding? Where have you been all my life?
Well, our kids love to join my wife and I for like the experience. And they want a wine glass on the table with their drink. They make special drinks, and it's some combination of like juice and water. And our daughter has observed from me doing drinks that just adding like a squeeze of lemon and lime in
Yeah.
to something, you balance out a couple flavors, and all of a sudden you have something that tastes new. Or you add sparkling water,
Yeah.
juice, and lime, and like you chill it, and that dropping in the temperature gives them like this experience. They put it into a wine glass, and they join my wife and I. They have a great time.
Yeah.
So I was crazy you said it. Maybe glad you did, because I was like, oh, if I brought this home, no alcohol, the four of us could drink this.
Yeah.
It would pair lovely for Danielle and I to have that comparison or that nice food flavor.
You can have
and
that.
The kids will feel like they're a part of it, and they will. And we've given them verjus before. We found that
Right.
when we were in Australia, we had it, and that's usually their sparkling when we do New Year's or something along those lines. There's nice apple products I found, apple bubbly or in grocery stores and stuff that are great for the kids. And it was a woman on New Year's. I was out grabbing some last minute stuff, and they had the non-alcoholic sparkling on the top shelf at the grocery store. And she's like, "Would you mind?" And of course I said, "No, I do," and I'm not going to do it. And I pretended to walk away. She was stunned. I'm like, "No, I got like, how many do you need?" And I saw in another aisle. She's like, "Actually, I found different stuff I want. Can you put this back?" And I was like, "Well, I felt obliged now."
I'm saying,
No, I'm just working at the store for free, right? So,
well, that's the curse of being tall.
Yeah, you know it is.
I don't have to worry about that.
Well, you know what the other curse is, guys? On behalf of all tall people, when people are shorter or vertically challenged, whatever the preferred term is, it's not like when things are low. You still want us to kneel down and get the stuff in the back of the low pantry as well.
I can't reach that
far.
far.
Oh, no, yeah, but you with your long arms. So it doesn't matter, high or tall. It's not like it, anyways. Pros and cons. Extra work.
Anyway, but getting back
I do
to
like the mix. Yeah, sorry.
The mix is actually quite tasty.
But
Yeah. But and to finish off, if I may, like I think it's awesome that we can use, and wine like great wineries are now saying, how can I make products that are better? And so the quality of zero proof products is getting better, like almost like the quality improvement is remarkable to see.
Agreed.
And I can't wait to see where that goes, because for that very reason, it allows us to include more and more people, whether they're age, whether I'm really old, I'm really old, I don't drink alcohol. Right. Okay, so how about, but if we can include non-alc or zero proof, we can embrace more people into the very things that we love doing, which is the food and wine culture, these experiences about this. And I think that is really what the non-alc movement should be focused on, is how do we make better products that improve the experience? And it does it have to taste? Do I need to have a de-alcoholized Chardonnay that tastes like Chardonnay? I don't know. Maybe make something else that you can build and make it however it is. If you can make a dynamite Chardonnay that tastes like an alc Chardonnay, all the power to you. Great, I'll drink it. But if it's something else, but I like a verjus, okay, it's a bit different, I'll drink it too, because now I know how to pair it. Anyway, have it.
Well, no, I think maybe to put a bow on all this, I think very well said. The quality of product is elevated. Food experiences now can be enjoyed in conjunction with it.
Yeah.
Those who are not enjoying alcohol for whatever reason, health reasons, alcohol and them don't agree, whatever the case is. Yeah. Everyone can kind of come to the table now and have an experience that is very similar. And maybe to your point about the Chardonnay, it'll be really interesting to see where wineries and distilleries take things as we move along. However, I think that if it's de-alcoholized, it doesn't have to be a Chardonnay, to your point. It can be its own version of, it can live in its own existence now. And I think we're in a time where culturally this is very acceptable, and that's what we wanted to highlight here today. And I'm really happy we remembered to include the spices, because I'm having a wonderful flavor, like the Greek spices continue to roll over my palate in different ways as we went through this next beverage. And the Herbe de Provence was the least favorite of all of the tastings I did, but it got better with these two other products for sure. And that's just whatever you choose to enjoy. We picked these because we had them on hand. There's no particular tie we have to these two herbs. They were just available, and they have a range of flavors, so it's just interesting to see what's going to pop out. But overall, really great. I think. Do you want to have the last word on zero proof?
You're out? I'm tapped out, man. I'm
tapped out.
No. You know what?
You're not out.
I'm not out. I mean, come on. It's me. I can always say, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's happening with this industry in this category. I think it's really important, and I think some really great wine minds, winemakers and everything are applying themselves to how to make these products better and more interesting. And the results that I'm seeing, there are certainly high points and there are low points. I've had some stuff that's like, oh, that's not good. But I've also tried some stuff that gives me hope, not just hope, but but confidence that the category is great. And I love the idea of zebra striping, to be honest. The whole have an alcoholic drink, then a non-alc, and again, provided that the non-alc enhances the experience, and it takes me in a different area. I'm trying something different. That's cool.
I agree, it's cool. I don't know if I'm in the zebra striping. I'm kind of in or I'm out, and I like it. I like being. I like the days like doing this non-alcoholic. I wake up feeling great. Generally, still waking up feeling great when we're having just
when it's
bottle
just wine
or a glass of wine or whatever the case is. Not getting carried away.
Yeah,
it's a good experience either way. I think it's just you know, zebra striping or however you choose to live it.
Yeah, good.
I have one final comment, and that is, you know, here. Have fun, get out, enjoy the nice weather, set up a little table. You can feel free to do it safely because there's no alcohol in front of us. It's great. And continue to be curious. You know, try your food. Try making combinations. Put that, like I said, book in the liner notes, and we'll see you next time here from Booze and Banter. Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nicely done. No, you're